Yo, what's up, y'all? So today is the 6th of May, 2024. Back at y'all with another video. Like I said, I'm trying to be more consistent with my videos. Um, I've been suffering a little bit from eye strain, so it's a little bit probably dark in this video, but that's fine. I'm gonna try to do my best. I don't have a, I do have a ring light, but I'm probably not gonna use it right right now. But anyway, in this video, I want to talk about working or being unemployed long term, um, getting laid off from your jobs, and getting away from the 9 to 5, um, getting from the 9 to 5 lifestyle, I should say. A lot of people work 9 to 5, most people do, and there's nothing wrong with it. But the problem with 9 to 5 is a lot of times um, you wind up feeling like you feel like the years of your life are passing by. You're just kind of doing the same thing, repetitive thing over and over, and that can be fine. But the problem is, for most people, working a 9 to 5 job is something you do just to pay your bills. You may have children to take care of. Um, One thing I noticed is you have some people who jump from job to job. Um, and the real reason why many people jump from job to job is because they're not really happy with the job that they work at. It's not necessarily like a lack of discipline or a weak work ethic. It's just simply the job that you're working is not something that you love. It's not something that you enjoy. When you don't enjoy something, you keep you're gonna find yourself jumping from one thing to one thing, and I think that's what a lot of people have. A lot of people who can't seem to figure out what they want to do with their lives. The real issue is you can't figure out what it is you enjoy. Figure out what you enjoy and what you like to do, and then figure out a way to monetize it. Especially these days, I think that there's a lot more opportunity there to monetize. Now, here's the thing, I'm going to be frank and I'm going to be honest. I think that when it comes to monetization, especially if something that is not traditional, like working a retail job or driving a truck or being a nurse or something like that, a job like that, you might have to go a period without making any money, right? You might go have to go a while with putting in hours that are unpaid. I think that sometimes, especially if you start any kind of business or any kind of career, especially if it's something that you're doing on your own, it's going to take some time to build a fan base or clientele or whatever to start making money. Because really, let's be honest, in order to make money, you got to have some sort of clientele, some kind of fan base of some sort, or some kind of something of that sort. And so you have to basically give people what they want or give people what they need. And sometimes you may have to. It takes time to build that. There's actually some research that y'all can do. I can't remember the exact numbers, but most businesses, especially like a lot of the big corporations, if you go back in history, many of them went years without making a profit. Just because a business is there and operating doesn't necessarily mean that they're making money. Sometimes it can take years to actually make a profit. You know, um, I can't give an example of any kind of because I can't think of anything off. I can't think of a company off the top of my head, but it's you can definitely do the research for yourself. That a lot of businesses, especially some of these big corporations, believe it or not, many of them did not make money when they first started. Some of them were actually um, may have even take. I think a good example would be Sears, even though Sears is gone now, for the most part. But I think Sears they didn't even make a profit till like almost 10 years, if I can remember correctly. It took 10 years for them to finally make a profit, probably longer than that. So now, hopefully, I'm not saying that same thing is going to be for you, but the example I'm trying to give is sometimes I think people are afraid to put a lot of time into something that they think is not going to make them any money. And I understand that. That's why a lot of people are afraid to start a business or afraid to, just try certain things because you may not see the immediate um, reward. It's not like a 9 to 5. When you work a 9 to 5 job, you can see the immediate reward once you get hired, right? Once you get hired, you know you're going to get paid hourly. You know you're going to get that check. If you don't get that check, you can, there's laws in place to make sure you get paid, right? So it's there for you, and I understand that. But sometimes, like I said, I guess the word I want to look for is, or the term I'm looking for is delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is when you do something now and benefit later. So you have to have a plan in place and really understand what it is you're going to do. Um, but yeah, I said maybe just try it. Don't be afraid to try something. I would say stick to something that you like to do, and that you're also fairly good at as well. You have to be good at it as well. Um, you can like something and be terrible at it, and that's probably not going to work. You need to be good at it as well. Um, I guess that's all I want to say. Really, these days the retirement and pensions and all that stuff has disappeared a lot for millennials and Gen Zs. I don't know what baby boomers did, but they really messed up the whole retirement and um, pension plan thing. It's nothing like it used to be. Even like the 401k and 401k is still good, but it's not like it used to be. So my eyes are kind of burning. Um, I'm gonna get off here soon, but anyway, like I said, the 401k is still pretty good from what I see for the most part. But you got people who are experiencing late. You got a lot of people experiencing getting laid off, and most of the jobs that I see that I'm noticing people are getting laid off the most is a lot of tech jobs, a lot of soft skill jobs. You know, people who work like in manual labor or jobs that require physical strength or physical abilities. Their jobs are a little more secure, but jobs like people who work in management, people with soft skills, those are the jobs that seem to be getting the most layoffs. Um, I did make a video before. I'm not sure if I posted it on here. I think I did, where I was talking about how AI is causing a lot of issues. Where you got to remember, see, most companies, their intention or their goal is to increase their profits every year, and sometimes increasing profits includes cutting back on costs and finding alternatives like machines and computers, right? And they're making these investments in these software, these programs to basically replace workers. If they can get workers, I mean, get computers and software to do the work, then they'll do it if they feel like they need to save money and help increase profits. Um, I think they're sort of integrating jobs. I mean, not jobs, but job positions. Like you may have to have a manager for one department, and no, sometimes you will have a manager for two different departments that used to be two, but now it's one, right? So you'll have two managers for two different departments, and now they'll integrate it and make it just one. So now you just get rid of one manager. You have one person doing both jobs. You see what I'm saying? Like integrating. That's another thing they're doing. I think if they figure out that they can get one person to do two two jobs. If I get one person to do two jobs, then we can get rid of one person. You see what I'm saying? It's like you cut in half the amount of workers that you have, or the amount of labor that you have to pay for. And unfortunately, that's something else. I'm not sure if integrating is correct. I don't know what the technical term is for that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. How they'll 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 let go of certain positions, and they'll just have someone else sort of do both jobs in one. They'll change the title, and that's another thing is companies can make up titles as well. You can. I mean, one time I had a job. It was like warehouse, and then they changed warehouse to like stock room, and it didn't really look. And what I realized, I didn't understand it then, but I realized it has a lot to do with the pay. See, when I used to be a warehouse worker, the average pay was a certain amount in the field. But when they changed the title, or they changed the position title, yeah, to like stockroom, they don't have to pay you the same as a warehouse worker. You understand what I'm saying? So if you change the terms of stockroom or back room, or something like that, it's not considered the same as a warehouse worker. So it's like and it's also a trick to kind of get people to pay people a lower wage, even though you're doing the same work. If you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, I guess that's all I want to say is you got to try something. Working a 9 to 5 job is fine, but you can get laid off at any time. You can get fired at any time, especially these days, especially if you work a soft skill type job. Like I said, if you're a nurse, you're probably good. Like if you're doing anything in the medical field, your job is pretty much secure for the most part. I think medicine will always be in demand, but if it's something where it doesn't really have a high demand, even if it pays high, it's not secure. So you can get laid off. Laid off is a part of life, and unfortunately, that's just where we are right now. Where we always been, really, but seems like it's getting a little worse, especially in these days. So that's all I want to say is don't be afraid to try something different. Don't expect immediate um, gratification and reward. Sometimes you may have to go a little while doing something or building something that doesn't make money, but sometimes it takes time to get to the position where you're actually making a profit. So that's all I want to say. I don't want to make this video too long. I'll talk to y'all next time.